And good morning from the campus of Magnet Cove, and welcome to 2A Central Regional Baseball. I'm Coach Shane Hartzell here with you today for the baseball tournament here, the regional tournament at Magnet Cove. And our first game today, we'll take a look at here in just a moment, will be between the visiting team will be the Quitman Bulldogs and the Episcopal Wildcats, who are the 1 seed in the 2A5 conference. So let's take a look at the bracket for the matchups today. Again, first game right here, we have the Episcopal Wildcats, the number 1 seed from the 2A5 region, facing the number 4 seed, the Quitman Bulldogs. And then in the 12:30 game today, we will have the Bigelow Panthers, the 3rd seed, facing the Sloan Hendricks there. And in the 3 o'clock game, we will have Southside B Branch, the Hornets, facing the Poen Indians, the 4th seed. And then our final game of today will be the Magnet Cove Panthers, the 2 seed from the 2A5 conference, will be facing the Cedar Ridge Timberwolves. So we want to welcome all of you who are from Episcopal and from Quitman who may be watching. Welcome aboard here. This is sponsored by the Magnet Cove High School East YouTube channel. And again, on behalf of the crew here, we want to thank you for tuning in. And with that, we'll take a look at the starting lineups for the. We'll take a look at the lineups for, first of all, the visiting Quitman Bulldogs. And so the Quitman Bulldogs are coached by Steve Sexton, and the assistant coach is Mikhail Dale, and the other assistant is Caleb Ensminger. And so number 1 is for the Quitman Bulldogs is P.J. Garrett. Number 2 is Braden Haynes. Number 3 is Grayson Ely. Number 4 is Trevor Hensley. Number 5 is Ethan Thurman. And also at number 5 is Hudson Rorex. And number 7 is Zane Pierce. And number 8 is Riley Sullivan. Number 11 is Ethan Malem. And number 12 is Brian Treat. Number 17 will be Chris Dorado. Number 18 will be Jacob Ivy. And rounding it out for the Quitman Bulldogs will be number 20, Jackson Ivy. So that is your visiting Quitman Bulldogs. And we will take a look at the rosters from the home team, the Episcopal Wildcats. And the Episcopal Wildcats the head coach is Eddie Stevenson, and his assistant is Adam Hardgrave. Let's take a look at their lineup. Number 1 is Ramsey Jennings. Number 2 is Jack Harbor. And number 3 is Jacob Tritt. And number 4 is Matthew Vanal. Number 7 is Jaron Tritt. Number 8 is Jack Lubique. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And number 9, Charlie Moore. Number 10, Drew Grumbles. Number 11, Sam Spencer. Number 14, Turner Harbor. Number 21, John Jennings. Number 22, Hunter Grumbles. And number 24, Cole Scrifes. And 32, Andrew Johnston. And rounding it out for the Episcopal Wildcats is number 34, Thomas Preet. And so that is the home team, who is the 1st seed here for your morning action to begin this 2A Central District Tournament baseball play here on the campus of Magnet Cove. We thank you for tuning in, and we are excited. And with that, we are going to take a quick break here on the Magnet Cove High School East YouTube channel, and we'll be back here in just a moment. And we are back here at Panther Baseball Field for 2A Central Regional Baseball. Again, I'm Coach Shane Hartzell on the announcement with you today, and we are going to take a look at this. Of course, this event is sponsored by the Arkansas Activities Association, the AAA, as they're most notably known for, and these two teams meeting up here today are both members of the Arkansas Activities Association, and we appreciate the governing body. And with that, I am going to start off with this announcement from the AAA, the Arkansas Activities Association. The schools participating in this regional baseball tournament are members of the Arkansas Activities Association as authorized by their school board. The administrators of these schools have helped to write the rules and regulations that govern participation of students in competitive activities for the schools that are members of the AAA. The Arkansas Activities Association, which is sponsoring this regional baseball tournament games, is a voluntary, nonprofit educational association of some 500 junior and senior public and private high schools of Arkansas. The regulations which guide these events are adopted by the schools themselves and determine the type of program they believe to be the most desirable for high school youth. The Arkansas Activities Association is one of the 50 state organizations that belong to the National Federation of State High School Associations. This association formulates policies, game rules, and standards for inter-school competition. The schools of Arkansas have adopted these rules on eligibility, which correspond to those recommended by the National Federation of State High School Association. And with that, again, we welcome you here on the Magnet Cove High School East YouTube channel here on the campus of Magnet Cove. We have a beautiful morning for baseball. A little breeze blowing in this morning for this first game matchup between the Episcopal Wildcats and the Quitman Bulldogs. And so we look forward to a great day of baseball here at regional baseball at Magnet Cove. Also going on just across the way here is the 2A Central Regional Softball Tournament as well, and you can catch Dalton Reed on that live stream there. I am joined with me up here in the booth with a couple of guys, Gavin Marsh, who is moderating our group chat, and Dakota Reed, who is running our graphics here that you see on the screen. So I want to give these guys a big shout out and a thank you for all the sacrifice and helping get this thing ready. Of course, I want to thank all the many people who have made this possible with this event possible, and that would be our administration, our superintendent, Mr. Danny Thomas, our high school principal, Mr. Jeff Escola, and middle school principal, Ms. Lori Junkins, and our elementary principal, Mr. Cameron Alexander. So, and then of course all of our school board members who do a great job of supporting the school and all activities, both academic and athletic here at the Magnet Cove School District. And with that being said, we want you to sit back and enjoy a great day of baseball. Again, beautiful day. I think the temperature right now, as I look here, is about in the getting into the 60s here, low 60s, 61, hovering between 60 and 61 degrees. So just a beautiful day for both baseball and softball here on the campus of Magnet Cove. We thank all of those who are joining us here that are maybe watching here in Magnet Cove, and also the Episcopal fan base, and as well as the Quitman Bulldog fan base. Both of these teams had an early morning start this morning, leaving their respective schools and traveling down here to Magnet Cove for this regional tournament. So again, this is talk a little bit about the regionals and the regional play. This is a single elimination tournament, so it's either win or go home. So that's kind of how this works in the first round. And so we look forward to a great day of baseball starting here on the Magnet Cove High School East YouTube channel. With that being said, we will take another quick break here, and we'll be back for the national anthem and the coaches meeting with the umpires here in just a moment. You're watching 2A Central Regional Baseball on the Magnet Cove High School East YouTube channel. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are about ready for action in the first game this morning here on the campus of Magnet Cove in the 2A Central Regional Baseball Tournament. Your home team is the Episcopal Wildcats, and on the bump today for Episcopal is the pitcher, number 24, Cole Scrifes, and behind the plate is the catcher, number 34, Thomas Pierre. And looking at that, in center field will be number 10, Drew Grumbles, the center fielder. And the first baseman will be number 32, Andrew Johnston. And the third baseman will be number 1, Ramsey Jennings. The shortstop will be Hunter Grumbles. And we will get you some more of that here in just a moment. But right now, leading it off is for the Quitman Bulldogs is number 11, the center fielder, Ethan Malam. Cole looks, delivers the first pitch, and that's going to be just inside for call ball 1. 1-0 is your count. Second pitch delivers, and that one's going to be fouled out of play, and that will even up the count at 1-1. The delivery, and just a bit low is a call ball 2. So 2 balls, 1 strike is your count. Scrife sets, delivers, and that one's going to be hit up the middle, but in to make the play is the shortstop, number 22. And that is Hunter Grumbles, who comes up and makes the play for the 6-3 put out. And that's how this first game of the first tournament will start out here with a ground out 6-3. And that will bring up the pitcher, number 8, Riley Sullivan, to bat for the Quitman Bulldogs. Grice delivers, and that one is going to be fouled off, out of play. So 0-1 is your count. Grice delivers, and that one's going to be hit, and that one's going to fall, but the second baseman makes a great play on that. And that is number 3, Jacob Tritt. And so that is the 4-3 put out for the second out. And that will bring up the catcher, number 4, Trevor Hensley, for the Quitman Bulldogs. The pitch misses just outside. Scrifes winds up, delivers, and that one is going to be chopped foul just past the third base line. So 1-1 is your count with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. First game of the 2A Central Regional Tournament, sponsored by the Arkansas Activities Association here. And that one misses just outside for called ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike is your count on Hensley, the catcher. Scrives delivers, and that one's going to be put in play. The third baseman's got a chance, and he makes a play on it and does make it. And so 1, 2, 3, the top three batters. Down go the Quitman Bulldogs on the 5-3 put out. And with that, on the play, that was Ramsey Jennings who made the play, the third baseman. And with that, we will take a quick break and come back here for more 2A Central Regional Baseball on the Magnet Cove High School East YouTube channel. And we are back here at Panther Baseball Field, and in the bottom of the first, and the first batter will be the pitcher, Cole Scrives, for the Episcopal Wildcats. On the bump today for the Quitman Bulldogs is Riley Sullivan, and his catcher is Trevor Hensley. And I'll get you the rest of the defensive lineup here in just one moment. O'Reilly, the lefty, delivers. First pitch is going to be a ball outside. 1-0 is your count. And that one's going to be low and away. 2-0 is your count. And that one finds a strike zone for a called strike. So 2 balls, 1 strike is your count on the leadoff for the Wildcats, Cole Scrives. And swing and a miss evens up the count at 2-2. And that one hits the plate for a called ball, and that will bring the count to full. At the third base spot over there for the Quitman Bulldogs is Jackson Ivy. And he delivers, and Sullivan So Scrifes leads off with a leadoff walk and is aboard for the Wildcats here in the bottom of the first. And that will bring up the center fielder, Drew Grumbles, number 10, for the Wildcats. Sullivan looks the runner, and that one's going to be hit up the middle, and that one's going to play off the center fielder there, and Scrifes will take another base on the hard hit ball up the middle by Grumbles. And with that, the Wildcats have 2 aboard at the corners, first and third, and up brings the first baseman, number 32, Andrew Johnston. The pitch. And Sullivan is going to cover. The catcher makes a hustle play there. Sullivan from the stretch and delivers, and that one's going to be chopped foul on the right, down the first baseline, and that will even up the count at 1-1 for Episcopal Wildcats. The delivery, and that one bounces up, but the pitcher covers. And so that will be 2 balls, 1 strike is your count, no outs. And with that wild pitch, Grumbles takes second base. So 2 runners in scoring position, and misses with the ball. So Johnston has hitter's leverage count right here in the bottom of the first. Sullivan looking to find his groove for the Bulldogs. And that one is going to be pulled down the right field. Well, that's going to score Scrifes. And that's also going to score Grumbles, number 10, the center fielder. So that's a 2-run RBI and a stand-up single for Mr. Johnston, the first baseman. And that will bring up Ramsey Jennings, the third baseman for the Episcopal Wildcats. And first pitch is a ball, low and away. Second pitch sells just a little bit high. So 2-0 is your count. 2 balls, no strikes, no outs. Episcopal Wildcats draw first blood with a 2 RBI single by the first baseman, Andrew Johnston, number 32. He drove in the leadoff, Cole Scrifes, and the 2-hole hitter, Drew Grumbles. So, and now we have Ramsey Jennings, and he has a 30 count here on it. And that one finds the strike zone for a called strike. So 3 balls, 1 strike is your count. And that is going to be a swing and a miss. And with that, Johnston is going to get second base. So Johnston in scoring position, 3-2. The count is full. And that one's going to miss just a little low, and that will be a base on balls. And Ramsey Jennings, the third baseman, will take his walk down to first base, and that will bring up the shortstop, number 22, Hunter Grumbles, for the Episcopal Wildcats. Quitman's coach is going to call time, go out and kind of talk to his pitcher and try to settle him down here. And with that, we will take a quick break here on the Magnet Cove High School East YouTube channel.
If you're looking for a hidden gem while traveling down Arkansas Highway 51, then Panther Pass Grocery and Gas is your one-stop destination. The Panther Pass is more than just your typical local grocery and gas station. It also has a full cafe menu with delicious, mouth-watering food that will satisfy any type of appetite. The Panther Pass is also a proud supporter of the Magnet Cove School District and a community partner with the Magnet Cove High School East. The Panther Pass is located at 2214 Highway 51, Magnet Cove, Arkansas.
And we're back here. And after the quick meeting, Hunter Grumbles, the shortstop, is up. And that had the hit and run on there. And so Jennings is going to make his way back as that one is fouled out of play down the right side. And let's see if they keep the hit and run on here. And they do. And that one's going to fall in the gap in right field. And that's going to bring in another run. Number 32, Johnston, will come across and score. And up with the stand-up single will be Grumbles, the first baseman. And Jennings will advance to third. So runners at the corner, still no outs. Episcopal Wildcats up 3-0. And that one is back. They got him in a rundown and see what they do here. And they had the first to third play there. And with that, in comes Ramsey, who steals home on the first and third play. And so that he was safe at home at the plate, and that will make the score 4-0 in favor of the home team, the Episcopal Wildcats. And number 3, Jake Tritt, the second baseman, is up here. And that is a called ball. So 1-0 is your count. And with that, Grumbles takes third base. And that one misses low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. And that one's going to be fouled off the plate by Tritt, the second baseman. Two balls, 1 strike is your count. Sullivan delivers, and that one's going to get away, and in comes number 22. And so Grumbles comes in on the wild pitch. And so that brings the score. That empties the bases for the Wildcats. And that brings the score to 5-0. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Tritt has hitter's leverage here And that one just misses hitting him, but needless to say, it's the fourth ball, so he takes the base on balls. And with that, we'll bring up the designated hitter, Sam Spencer, for the Episcopal Wildcats. That one's going to start outside ball. Second pitch is a little high, so 2 balls, no strikes is your count. A runner on first, still no outs here in the bottom of the first. Sullivan looks, delivers, and that one's going to sail high for ball 3. Sullivan delivers, and that was 4 straight balls for Sullivan, and down will go Spencer, take his base on first base, and Tritt will advance to second. So we have another run in scoring position, and that will bring up the right fielder, number 2, Jack Harbor, for the Episcopal Wildcats. He looks down, gets a signal from his coach. Sullivan settled, and that is a called balk on Sullivan, and that will advance the runners 90 feet. So Tritt will go down to third, and Spencer will go down to second. So now we have 2 more runners in scoring position for the Wildcats. Sullivan delivers, and that one's going to be outside. Sullivan having a little trouble finding the strike zone here. And he finds it on that one on the outside corner for a called strike. And so 1-1 is your count on Harbor, the right fielder. And that is going to be a swing and a miss. So the count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. Runners at second and third for the Wildcats. He delivers and misses, but that is a drop strike, and that one's going to be a throwing error on the catcher, number 4, Henley. And in will come number 3, Tritt, to score on the throwing error by the catcher. And on that drop third strike, Harbor will reach safely and take second base. And that one's going to be popped sky high. The center fielder was going out to call for it, and he gets it for Quitman, and that is the shortstop for Quitman, who is Zane Pierce, number 7. He makes the out, so Pierre Thomas was the one who flied out to the shortstop. And we have the first out for the Quitman Bulldogs, and that will bring up the leadoff. We have batted around. Again, the pitcher, Cole Scrifes. And with that, the score is 6-0 in favor of Episcopal Wildcats. First call is a called strike. So 0-1 is your count on Scrifes. Scrifes walked in his first at bat. And a swing and a miss. So 0-2 is your count. Sullivan ahead in the count here. And he delivers, and that one is going to be fouled off. Hit the plate. So Scrifes is looking. So down 0-2. The pitch, and that one's going to be inside for a call ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes is your count here on Scrifes, the pitcher for the Episcopal Wildcats and leadoff hitter. Sullivan delivers, and that one is going to be hit, and that one is going to be misplayed by the shortstop. And that will bring in a run as well. So that will bring Spencer in. And that will bring up the center fielder, Drew Grumbles, who his first at bat singled up the middle to the center fielder. Looks like we have a courtesy runner for our pitcher, Scrifes there, number 24. Or, excuse me, 14. Grumbles up, and he steps back and looking for the double steal again, and he is safe. Again, the first to third. And so Harbor comes in. All right, Sullivan delivers, and he is going to be safe here. And that is a called strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike is the count. 1-1. And that one's going to get away with the wild pitch, and Sullivan delivers, and that one's going to be outside. 2 balls, 1 or 3. Excuse me, 3 balls, 1 strike is your count. The delivery, and that is going to be a called strike to drive the count to full. And that one misses just outside, so Grumbles, the center fielder, Drew, will take his base. So runners at the corners, first and third, and that will bring up the first baseman, Andrew Johnston, who had a stand-up single but drove in 2 runs in his first at-bat. So he already has 2 RBIs to his credit here in the bottom of the first. And Grumbles is going to let him go on, or Grumbles is going to take the base. The catcher thought better of it to try to throw down. And that one sails high. So 2 balls, no strike. And a big swing there by Johnston. 2 balls, 1 strike. And 31 is your count. Johnston with hitter's leverage. And a called strike. And that is a swing, and he is going to go down on strikes. So Johnson strikes out swinging for the second out, and that will bring up the third baseman, Ramsey Jennings, who walked in his first at bat. And he fouls that one off to start off 0-1. And that one misses outside to even up the count at 1-1. And that one's going to be hit up the middle to center field. That will score 1, and that will score 2. So in comes the courtesy runner for the pitcher, Scrifes, and also Drew Grumbles. And that is a stand-up single and an RBI for the third baseman, Jennings. First pitch is a called ball on Grumbles. The shortstop, Hunter Grumbles. The other, Drew Grumbles, scored. And that one's going to fall down. And it's going to drop. And he's going to take third. And with that error, that will advance Ramsey to third base on the center fielder. And in will be Hunter Grumbles for a stand-up double. The delivery on number 3. Jacob Tritt, the second baseman. And he walked in his first at-bat. And that one's going to miss. So 1 ball, 1 strike is your count. 1-1. 2 Tritt, the second baseman. And that one's going to be low. And that will be 2 balls. Sullivan delivers, and that one's going to be chopped foul off the plate by Tritt. And so that evens up the count at 2-2 with 2 outs. Quitman looking to get out of this inning And that will do it there. Tritt strikes out, looking. And finally, the Quitman Bulldogs get out of the bottom of the first, but not before the Episcopal Wildcats score 10 runs in that inning. Again, Episcopal will be out in the field, and we're going to take a quick break, and Quitman will be up here. You're watching 2A Central Regional Baseball Tournament sponsored by the Arkansas Activities Association on the Magnet Cove High School East YouTube channel.
If you're looking for a hidden gem while traveling down Arkansas Highway 51, then Panther Pass Grocery and Gas is your one-stop destination. The Panther Pass is more than just your typical local grocery and gas station. It also has a full cafe menu with delicious, mouth-watering food that will satisfy any type of appetite. The Panther Pass is also a proud supporter of the Magnet Cove School District and a community partner with the Magnet Cove High School East. The Panther Pass is located at 2214 Highway 51, Magnet Cove, Arkansas.
And we're back here at the Panther baseball field for more 2A Central Regional action here. And we will have the Quitman Bulldogs coming up to bat here in the top of the first. The leadoff will be Chris Dorado, number 17, the second baseman for the Bulldogs. In the bottom of the first, the Episcopal pitcher, Scrifes, retired the first three batters with the ball. They put the ball in play, but the defense behind him made some great plays to make them go down 1-2-3. And he starts off with a ball. Scrifes delivers, and that one is going to be hit. It's going to be charged by the shortstop, number 22, and he's going to step and throw there, and that was Grumbles. So down goes Dorado on the 6-3, put out, and that will bring up the first baseman, Ethan Thurman, for the Quitman Bulldogs. The delivery, and he swings and misses on the first pitch, so 0-1 is your count. The delivery is a short hop, so 1-1 is the count on the first baseman, Thurman, for the Bulldogs. And he misses low for 2 balls, 1 strike is your count, 1 out. And the delivery, and that is going to be a called ball. So Ethan Thurman, the first baseman, has hitter's leverage count here in his favor. Let's see if the pitcher Scrifes can battle back here. And that one just misses, and Thurman will jog down to first base and be aboard with a base on balls, and that will bring up the shortstop, number 7, Zane Pierce, for the Quitman Bulldogs. So in the top of the the top of the second, the Quitman Bulldogs have a runner aboard with 1 out. Scrifes delivers and catches the outside corner for a called strike. And Scratch thought he may have caught the guy leaning, the first baseman, Thurman, leaning there. And he throws back over the first. And that one, it sails outside. So 1-1 is your count with 1 out and 1 runner aboard on first. And that one's going to be fouled out of play. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he attempts the pickoff, but the first baseman, Thurman, gets back in time. And that one, curveball, just misses. So that evens up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes, with 1 away and 1 on. Runner on first. Quitman looking to get something going here in the top of the second. And that one's going to be fouled out of play on the right side of the field. The delivery, and he's going to get him out on strikeout. Strikes out swinging. And so that will be the second out in the top of the first. And that will bring up the left fielder, Braden Haynes, number 2 for the Quitman Bulldogs. Scrifes delivers, and that ball sails a little high. So 1-0 is your count to start out. 1 ball. The delivery, and that one's going to be a little low. So 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Runner Thurman, the first baseman who reached on base on balls, still on first. And that one sails high as well. So 30 is your count here. Scratch delivers and finds the inside corner for a called strike. So 3 balls, 1 strike is your count here on the left fielder, Braden Haynes, for the Bulldogs of Quitman. And that one's going to be hit, and the first baseman is going to knock it down and step on the bag for the force out. And that will be it for the Quitman Bulldogs here in the top of the second inning. With that, we will take a quick break here on the Magnet Cove High School East YouTube channel. You're watching 2A Central Regional Baseball coverage from Magnet Cove, sponsored by the Arkansas Activities Association. We'll be back after this short break.
If you're looking for a hidden gem while traveling down Arkansas Highway 51, then Panther Pass Grocery and Gas is your one-stop destination. The Panther Pass is more than just your typical local grocery and gas station. It also has a full cafe menu with delicious, mouth-watering food that will satisfy any type of appetite. The Panther Pass is also a proud supporter of the Magnet Cove School District and a community partner with the Magnet Cove High School East. The Panther Pass is located at 2214 Highway 51, Magnet Cove, Arkansas.
And we're back here at 2A Central Regional Baseball Tournament here at Magnet Cove, sponsored by the Arkansas Activities Association. Leading it off for the Episcopal Wildcats will be the designated hitter, number 11, Sam Spencer. Spencer walked and scored in the bottom of the first at his first at-bat. Sullivan still on the hill for and that one just misses Spencer. So 1-0, 1 ball to start out the inning. The delivery, and that is a called strike. So 1-1 is your count. 1 ball, 1 strike on the designated hitter, Spencer. The delivery, and that one's going to be hit between the first and second baseman for a base hit. And he will reach aboard. So the leadoff for the Episcopal Wildcats, Sam Spencer, is aboard. And that will bring up the right fielder, Jack Harbor. And that ball gets away on the wild pitch. And so Spencer will advance to second. And Harbor will start out the count at 1-0. Sullivan delivers, and he evens up the count on Harbor. 1-1, 1 ball, 1 strike. Sullivan delivers, and that is going to be a swing and a miss. Called strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes is your count on Harbor, the right fielder for the Wildcats. And that one's going to get away. And down will go Spencer to third base. So that also evens up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes on Jack Harbor, the number 2, the right fielder. And that one is tipped and caught, and down goes Harbor for the first out in the bottom of the second and that will bring up the catcher, number 34, Thomas Pierre, who flied out to the shortstop in shallow left field at his last at bat. The first pitch is a swing and a fouled off called strike. The delivery by Sullivan, and that one is going to be hit, and that one is going to get down and get past the left fielder, and in will to score will come in Spencer. Sam Spencer will come in and score, and that will be a stand-up double for the catcher, Thomas Pierre, into left field. And in for him is a pinch runner, number 4. And he slides underneath the tag. So the courtesy runner, number 4, steals a base. And that one's going to be inside. So 2 balls, no strikes. Runner in scoring position. The delivery and swing and a miss by Scripes, the pitcher. So 2 balls, 1 strike is your count with 1 out. Runner on third. Episcopal looking to add to their lead. And that one is fouled off, and that evens up the count to 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The delivery. And that catches him looking, and so down goes the pitcher, Scripes, and that is 2 outs, and that will bring up Drew Grumbles, who reached on a base on balls the last at bat, and that one's going to be a wild pitch, and in will come the courtesy runner for the catcher, number 4, and that will score a run. So that brings the total up for the Episcopal Wildcats to 12. So 2 balls, 3 balls. 30 is your count on the center fielder, Drew Grumbles. And that is a called strike. The delivery, and that one's going to be hit, and it's going to find a spot into left field. So the center fielder, Drew Grumbles, is aboard with 2 outs here in the bottom of the second, and that will bring up the first baseman, Andrew Johnston, number 32. And that will be a stolen base there. And he's going to steal again. He's looking, decides better of it. Grumbles does. So 2 balls. And the count is now 3 balls, no strikes. Runner in scoring position at second. The delivery, and that is going to be a called strike. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Johnston still with hitter's leverage here for the Wildcats. The delivery, and that one's going to be fouled, so that runs the count to full here on Johnston. And hit and run, and that is going to be the 4-3 put out on the first baseman. So down goes Johnston for the 3rd out. And with that, the score in the top, or excuse me, going into the top of the 3rd will be the Episcopal Wildcats, the home team, 12, the Quitman Bulldogs, 0. And with that, we will take a quick break. You're watching 2A Central Regional Baseball Tournament, sponsored by the Arkansas Activities Association on the Magnet Cove High School East YouTube channel. And we're back here on the Magnet Cove High School East YouTube channel with the 2A Central Regional Tournament, and we have a pitching change for the for the Episcopal Wildcats. The first baseman, Andrew Johnson, comes from first base to be on the bump, and it looks like the center fielder, Drew Grumbles, moves to first base, and at shortstop, the second baseman, will be number 3, still Jake Tritt. So just a little bit of movement, but on the bump here is the first baseman, number 32, Andrew Johnston. And leading it off for the Quitman Bulldogs will be the right fielder, P.J. Garrett. We are in the top of the third. First pitch is going to be low for a call ball. And that one's going to hit the outside corner that will even up the count on the right fielder, Garrett. 1-1 is your count. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that one just misses, so 2 balls, 1 strike is your count. The delivery. And that one catches the plate, so evens up the count at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Garrett, the right fielder. And he gets him with that pitch on the outside corner. And down goes Garrett. Strikes out looking for the first out in the top of the third. And that will bring up the number 9 hitter, the third baseman, Jackson Ivy, number 20. And that is a strike. 0-1 is your count. And that is going to be a called strike 2 on Ivy, the 9-hole hitter for the Bulldogs. And that was going to be get away from Johnston there. So 1 ball, 2 strikes is your count. Umpire looks like the catcher is going to be shaking up just a little bit there for the Wildcats. But that is Thomas Pierre. That is one position, folks, in baseball that takes a beating, and that is the catcher. So, very tough position. So, 1 ball, 2 strikes is your count. And that one misses. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, evens up the count, and 1 out. And catches the outside corner for the second strikeout in a row there for Johnston. And down goes Jackson. Strikes out looking, and that will bring the lead off. The center fielder, Ethan Malam, number 11 for the Bulldogs, with 2 outs. That one is just a bit outside. In his first at bat, he grounded out to the shortstop, and that one is going to be fouled off to even up the count at 1-1. And that one catches the corner. Johnston doing a great job of working the corner here. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he gets him on that corner for a called. So down go the Quitman Bulldogs, the 8, 9, and 1 hole hitters on strikeouts, 1, 2, and 3. And that Johnston retires the side for the Episcopal Wildcats. And with that, we will take a quick break here on the Magnet Cove High School East YouTube channel. You're watching 2A Central Regional Tournament sponsored by the Arkansas Activities Association. We'll be back in just a moment. And we're back here at the 2A Central Regional Tournament here at Magnet Cove. And we are in the bottom of the 3rd inning here with the Episcopal Wildcats up 12-0 on the Quitman Bulldogs. Leading it off is the 3rd baseman, Ramsey Jennings, and he takes a call ball for the first pitch. So 1-0 is your count. His last at bat, he hit a shot to right field and drove in a run. And the count is 2-0. The delivery, and that is a called strike. So 2 balls, 1 strike is your count. And that one's going to hit, and the 3rd baseman is going to miss that one. Okay, and so aboard, the leadoff is aboard Jennings, the 3rd baseman. And that will bring up number 22, Hunter Grumbles, the shortstop, who had a stand-up double his last at bat. And that will be a called ball. And that runner is going to be going. And he will be, Jennings will swipe the bag. So Jennings takes second. And the last pitch was a called ball, so 20 is your count. And that one's going to be hit up And the center fielder is going to camp under it. And with the tag up will be Jennings. He tags up. And so the sacrifice fly advances the runner on the tag up. And that will be the first out for the Quitman Bulldogs. And that will bring up the second baseman, Jacob Tritt, who struck out looking. That is going to be a wild pitch, and that one went to the backstop, but took a good favorable bounce for the catcher from Quitman. So 1 ball, no strikes is your count. And that one catches the inside corner to even up the count at 1-1. And that one just misses outside. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Runner on third for Quitman, for Episcopal. And that one's going to be low and away. So 31. Tritt has hitter's leverage in his favor here. The delivery, and Sullivan gets the outside corner, so that brings the count to full on Tritt, the second baseman. The pitch, and that one is going to miss, but needless to say, he will take a base on balls. And so we have runners at the corners. I would probably be looking for Mr. Tritt to be going on this play. And Sam Spencer, the designated hitter, is up. And that is a called strike. So 0-1 is your count. And he does go. And with that, the shortstop comes up with a high bounce. And it's going to be a throw. So 1 will score. And Tritt will advance. So Spencer is aboard with the throw and error by the shortstop. And the run does score. And that brings up the right fielder, Jack Harbor. And that one's going to be hit, and it's going to drop in. And in comes Tritt, the second baseman. And so your score is now Quitman 14. And we have runners at first and second. And we are going to take a break here. We have we have a courtesy runner for courtesy runner for Spencer here. And that brings up now the catcher, Thomas Pierre. And that one's going to be popped up in the air. And the play is going to be made by the second baseman. So that is a fly out to the second baseman. And that will give 2 outs. And that will bring up the leadoff. The starting pitcher, Scrives, to the plate. And first call is a called strike. So the winning run is sitting out on second base for the Episcopal, and that is going to be a foul tip. The courtesy runner is number 7 for the Episcopal Wildcats. So 0-2 is your count on Scrives. The delivery, and that one's going to be in the gap, and that is waving him in, and I think that is going to score it, and that does. And with that, we'll score the run. So, excuse me, the courtesy runner scores, and Scrives gets the single. And Grumbles, the center fielder, is up. And that is going to be a called ball. So 2-0 is your count on Grumbles. And that is a called ball. 30 is your count. And he will reach with the base on balls. So that will load the bases. And out comes the coach for the Quitman Bulldogs. Sullivan has thrown quite a few pitches, and looks like we are going to have a pitch and change. And they're going to do some substitutions. So looks like Sullivan is going, the pitcher is going to move over to first base. I've seen him get the first baseman mitt. In is coming the right fielder. And let's see if he is going to. They're going to get number 7 for the Bulldogs. Pierce, who was at shortstop, will come in and pitch, assume the pitching duties. And, excuse me, it looks like Dorado, who was the second baseman, will move over to short. And Garrett comes in from right field to second base. And Ethan Thurman, who was on first base, will go to right field. So there is your changes here. And with that, we will take a quick break on the Magnet Cove High School East YouTube channel. And we're back here with the bases loaded, a pitch and change. And that is going to be a first call ball on Johnston, who moved from first base to who is now pitching. So 1-0 with 2 outs, bases loaded. Pierce delivers, and that one's going to be chopped just foul. The pitch and big swing by Johnston. So that brings the count to 1 ball, 2 strikes. The delivery. And he gets him looking. So with that, that brings the score to the Quitman Bulldogs 15. Or excuse me, the Quitman Bulldogs are down 15, and the Episcopal Wildcats are up 15-0 going into the top of the 4th inning. And with that, we will take a quick break with the 2A Central Regional Baseball Tournament sponsored by the Arkansas Activities Association, and we will be back here in just a moment. And we're back here at the 2A Central Regional Baseball Tournament. And leading it off for the Quitman Bulldogs will be the pitcher Sullivan, who has moved to first base. So Riley Sullivan, the lefty, will lead it off for the Bulldogs. And the first pitch is a called strike. second pitch misses just outside, so 1-1 is your count on Sullivan. And the swing and a miss there, and so 1-2, 1 ball, 2 strikes is your count. And he gets him swinging. Johnston does. And that will be the first out in the top of the fourth. And that one's going to miss. That's going to be a ball on the catcher, Hensley. And Johnston, who has come on in relief for the starting pitcher, Cole Scrives, has struck out 4 here. And that one misses. So 1 ball, 1 strike is your count. And that one's called strike. So 1 ball, 2 strikes is your count. Johnston. And that one misses just low. So that evens up the count at 2-2 on the catcher, Hensley. And that's going to be a chopper to the second baseman. And he will make the play there. That was Tritt with the 4-3 put out on Sullivan, or excuse me, rather Hensley, the catcher, and that will be the second out. And first pitch is a call ball on Dorado, the lefty. And that is a called strike. So 1-1 is your count. 2 outs. No runners on. And that one catches the outside corner for a called strike. So 2 strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes is your count. And that one misses. And that one just misses, so that runs the count to full on Dorado. And that one's going to be foul tipped, so Dorado stays alive here for the Bulldogs. And the delivery, and that one's going to be fouled off to the left side. So 3-2, the payoff pitch, and that one misses. And Dorado will take his jog down to first base, and he will be aboard with the 2 outs in the top of the fourth. And first pitch is a called ball. Second pitch just hits the outside corner. So 1 ball, 1 strike on Thurman, the first baseman. Johnson delivers, and that's a called strike on the outside corner. And the delivery, and that one just misses. So 2-2 is your count. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Thurman. The delivery, and that one's fouled off. So Thurman stays alive. Johnson looking for his possible 6th strikeout victim here, but Thurman is staying alive. And he gets him there. And so he strikes out swinging. So as we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, the score is the Episcopal Wildcats 15, the Quitman Bulldogs 0. We're going to take a quick break here from action from the 2A Central Regional Tournament here at Magnet Cove, sponsored by the Arkansas Activities Association. We'll be back here in just a moment. And we're back here at Magnet Cove for the 2A Central Regional Tournament. And we are in the bottom of the 4th, and leading it off for the Episcopal Wildcats will be the 3rd baseman, Ramsey Jennings. Pierce is the new pitcher, and that is a called strike. So 0-1 is your count. And that one's going to miss just inside. And that one comes in on us for a called strike 2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes is your count. And Pierce retires Jennings with the strikeout. So that is the first out. And that will bring up the shortstop, 22, Hunter Grumbles. And that one's going to be hit with a good hop for the shortstop. And what a play by Sullivan over there at first base. So they do convert the 6-3, put out for the second out. And that will bring up the second baseman, Jacob Tritt. And that is a called ball. And that one misses low. And that one's going to be hit to the shortstop, and he's going to make the play. So that is number 17 who moved over for, and that was Dorado, and that was on, he has made 2 plays in a row there, and that down go the Episcopal Wildcats in the bottom of the 4th. And so with that, your score will go to the top of the 5th. The score is still the Episcopal Wildcats 15, the Quitman Bulldogs 0. We will be back here for more 2A Central Regional Tournament from Magnet Cove, sponsored by the Arkansas Activities Association on the Magnet Cove High School East YouTube channel. And we're back here at the Panther Baseball Field for the 2A Central Regional Tournament. Game 1, sponsored by the Arkansas Activities Association. And leading it off for the Quitman Bulldogs, excuse me, will be number 7, the pitcher now, Zane Pierce. So, quickly down, 0-1. This is a count. And that one misses low and away. So, that evens up the count at 1-1 on Pierce. And that one's going to be fouled out of play. So, 1 ball, 2 strikes is your count here on Pierce. And he catches him looking there, so down goes Pierce. And for the first out, that will bring up Haynes, Braden Haynes, number 2. And the first pitch misses outside by Johnston. second pitch is just misses low and away. And that one catches the middle. So 2-1 is your count. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that one misses, so 3 balls, 1 strike. And that one's going to be fouled out of play, and that will bring the count to full here on Braden Haynes. And he will take his base. And so with 1 out, Braden Haynes is aboard on a walk, and that will bring up P.J. Garrett. And that is going to be a swing and a fouled off out of play. So 0-1 is your count. The runner is going, and the second baseman is going to come over and make the play, but not before Haynes will go to third. So that is a sacrifice grounder, fielder's choice there. Ground out to the second baseman, and that is 2 down. And that ball is going to be outside on Ivy. Ivy, who struck out looking in his last at bat. And that one is a called strike. And 1 ball, 1 strike. And swing and a miss. One ball, 2 strikes is your count. And that one's going to be hit. And nice. And what a play by the first baseman. Gets him there on the 6-3 put out. And that is the ball game here. So the Episcopal Wildcats will advance in this 2A Central Regional Tournament, and with a score of 15-0. And with that, we will be setting up here. We'll take a quick break, and we will be back on for our second game of the day. and which I believe will be as I'm looking at the bracket. Let's see. Let's look at our bracket here. Pull it up, and so. All right, and that will be Bigelow will be facing Sloan Hendricks here at 12:30. So with that, we appreciate those of you from Quitman and Episcopal Collegiate who will be advancing. Again, your final score in Game 1 is the Episcopal Wildcats 15, the Quitman Bulldogs 0. We will take a break here and be back for another stream here at 12:30. So with that, we thank you, and remember you're watching the 2A Central Baseball Regional Tournament from Magnet Cove, sponsored by the Arkansas Activities Association on the Magnet Cove High School East YouTube channel.